Chapter 96 of the Quran is called Surah Al-Alaq, which translates to the clot or the clinging clot. It is one of the earliest revelations received by the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and consists of 19 verses. Here is a brief explanation of the verses in this chapter. Verses 1, 5. Read in the name of your Lord who created man from a clinging substance. Read, and your Lord is the most generous, who taught by the pen, taught man that which he knew not. These verses highlight the importance of knowledge and education. The chapter begins by emphasizing the act of reading and seeking knowledge in the name of the Lord. It acknowledges that it is Allah who created humankind from a clinging substance, referring to the embryonic stage of human development, and bestowed upon them the ability to acquire knowledge. The use of the pen is also mentioned as a means of acquiring and spreading knowledge. These verses encourage the pursuit of knowledge as a means of attaining understanding and wisdom. Verses 6, 8. No, indeed, man transgresses, because he sees himself self-sufficient. Indeed, to your Lord is the return. These verses address the attitude of arrogance and self-sufficiency that can hinder human beings from seeking knowledge and guidance. It states that humans often transgress and become neglectful of their responsibilities because they perceive themselves as self-sufficient and independent. However, the verses remind them that ultimately they will return to their Lord, emphasizing the importance of humility and recognizing one's dependence on Allah. Verses 9, 16. Have you seen the one who forbids a servant when he prays? Have you seen if he is upon guidance or enjoins righteousness? Have you seen if he denies and turns away? Does he not know that Allah sees? No. If he does not desist, we will surely drag him by the forelock, a lying, sinning forelock. These verses highlight the attitude of those who oppose and prohibit the worship of Allah. It questions the behavior of someone who forbids and prevents others from praying and practicing their faith. The verses challenge these individuals to consider whether they are upon the right guidance and enjoin righteousness, or if they deny the truth and turn away. It reminds them that Allah is fully aware of their actions and intentions. The imagery of being dragged by the forelock indicates the consequences that await those who persist in their denial and opposition to the truth. Verses 17, 19. Then let him call his associates. We will call the angels of hell. No, do not obey him, but prostrate and draw near to Allah. These final verses assert that the one who opposes the truth and refuses to submit to Allah will face the consequences of their choices. It states that the angels of hell will be called upon to carry out the punishment. The verses emphasize the importance of obedience to Allah and encourage the believers to prostrate and draw near to Him in worship. Surah Al-Alaq underscores the significance of seeking knowledge, the importance of humility, and the consequences of denying the truth and opposing the worship of Allah. It highlights the transformative power of education and the need for individuals to recognize their dependence on their Creator. The chapter serves as a reminder to prioritize seeking knowledge and develop a humble and obedient attitude towards Allah. Here is some additional information about Surah Al-Alaq, Chapter 96, and its significance. Surah Al-Alaq is a profound chapter in the Quran that emphasizes the importance of seeking knowledge, recognizing one's dependence on Allah, and the consequences of denying the truth and opposing the worship of Allah. The chapter begins by highlighting the act of reading and seeking knowledge. It emphasizes that the acquisition of knowledge should be done in the name of Allah, acknowledging Him as the Creator who brought humankind into existence from a clinging substance, referring to the embryonic stage of human development. This highlights the miraculous nature of human creation and the need to utilize the intellect and seek knowledge as a means of understanding and appreciating the signs of Allah's creation. The verses also draw attention to the use of the pen as a tool for learning and spreading knowledge. This highlights the importance of literacy, education, and the dissemination of knowledge as a means of personal growth and societal development. The subsequent verses address the attitude of arrogance and self-sufficiency that can hinder human beings from seeking knowledge and guidance. It highlights that humans often transgress and neglect their responsibilities because they perceive themselves as self-sufficient and independent. These verses serve as a reminder to cultivate humility, recognizing that true knowledge and guidance come from Allah, and that human beings are ultimately accountable to Him.